So I've got an alternate Discord account with way fewer messages on it, way fewer people added, just to make it so that we don't have to wait a solid 10 minutes or so for it to load everything. So here's how we would run it. So you can see the command looks like we're just running the executable, and then we give it two input like arguments. The first thing is the time zone, which we have a list of recognized time zones, and then your auth token. And I'm leaking my alt account's auth token to whoever's watching this, but it has nothing on it, so I don't really care. All right, so you can see it's going through all of our different users, and then here you can see it takes us to the command line interface. We've got a few different options. We can get the stats, so that's just some overall all-time statistics. We've got the times, which are basically the different times of day that you sent a certain number of messages. And then we have users, which is a list of all of the different users that you've messaged with in open channels, and a bunch of different stats about them. You can also get a list of all of the messages or calls of a specific user, which is pretty cool, but it's not super comprehensive. And then, of course, you can exit the program when you're done. So let's run stats. You can see this shows us some basic statistics for overall. Here's the total messages sent on this account, the total messages received, the total characters sent and received, which can be, I guess, more interesting. Like, there are some people who like to send a ton of short messages, but this is like a more accurate representation of how much you're actually talking. The number of calls you've started, the number of calls you've answered, and the number of hours you've spent in a call. So you can see for my alt account, these are all very low numbers just used for testing. And then this function will also show us the first message ever sent and the author and when it was sent. So that's kind of cool if you've got a really old account to see like what the first thing you ever did was. So then I can type the command times. This is not super interesting to look at, again, because it's on my alt account, but I can show you what that looks like for my main. It's actually pretty cool. You can see we've got a ton of messages, a pretty even distribution, surprisingly, of messages sent during the afternoon, but then you can see I'm not sending very many messages at 5 in the morning. I'm actually surprised by how many there are there. I guess I'm more of a gremlin than I thought. Oops. And then we've got users, which is a list of different users with some basic stats. So on my main account, again, this would be much longer. You can see the oldest message sent by each person, so I guess that's how long you've been messaging them. We've got the number of characters sent and received for each person, the total number of messages distributed, and then the amount of time spent in a call. I've got someone on my main account with almost 1,000 hours of call time, which is pretty cool. And then at the bottom, you can see we've got the total for all of these different things. And then, of course, I could get say you will messages. This is just a list of all the messages sent and received between me and my main account. Say you will is my main. And I mean, it's actually pretty crazy. On my main account, I've got one guy who I've got like 40,000 messages with, and I can do that command and it'll print it all out in like half a second. It's really crazy. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much our entire program. It's Discord wrapped for you, and we're pretty excited about how it turned out. Thanks for watching.